y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Catch That, where we dig deep into R&B history, culture, and talk about it with people who also love the culture and really appreciate the history of the art form. I am naturally Alise, and that is my brother.
JR.
And we are the R&B representatives, I think. And today we are welcoming back a very, very good friend and good enemy of the show who we love very, very much and hate very, very much. All the things, balance. And that is my very good brother, a very sharp music mind, beautiful writer, and a pain in my ass, Mark Chappelle.
Oh, thank you, Elise. There's so much stuff you could have said. You didn't say half of it, but it's fine. I see you're not keeping the same energy today. hmm
Yes. Yes. So how about oh my God. This is already. So, Mark, how about you tell folks a little bit about yourself, or a lot about yourself, and just introduce to who you are?
This is always like the hardest question you ask. Like, can you ask me about music instead? Musician, writer, mental health professional, designer. I mean, if it gives me a check, I'll do it. So, if you have any ideas, please email me at. Anyway, yeah, all those things, and I just love music, and so like I guess I'm a music historian, self declared, and because I read the liner notes, I remember a whole bunch of stuff, and then when people try to revise history, I'd be like, that's not how it went, and so this is why I love Jr. and that other one, what's her name? Elise, yeah, her, she alright. Because they also be knowing stuff and they be talking about it, and then like I just love talking about music with them, and after this episode is over, you might not believe it, but I was asked to come here. All right, so don't let her change history again and act like she didn't want me here because I have an invite. All right.
Yes, thank you, Mark. But no, seriously. So I want JR to tell us what we're gonna be talking about, but I want Mark to tell us after JR introduces the album why you
Yeah.
picked this album specifically to talk about.
Okay.
All right.
So
So,
okay.
y'all, we will be discussing Minnie Riperton's Perfect Angel album. Shout out to my brother Neltron for giving me this. So, yes. So, Mark, you go ahead and tell everybody why'd you pick this album and why do you feel like people should, why we should be talking about it, to be honest.
Okay. Well, first of all, as much as people do talk about Minnie Riperton, I still feel like it's not enough because she didn't get the chance to live long enough to be recognized as the legend that she is, the unique talent that she is. And so this year, 2024, Perfect Angel is turning 50 years old. 50
Mm-hmm.
years old. 50 years old, right? And so it's been like 5 decades of la 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 do do do. Okay, at least it's your moment. And really, as well known as "Lovin You" is, it's not even my favorite song on the album. And like it's one of those where it's like it shines so bright you can't see everything else that's around it. So I'm like, yeah, like I'd love to look at what else is on Perfect Angel, and like because people are probably talking about Perfect Angel, I'm like I got all the other albums up. I don't know what it is about her. I just found her captivating, and like the more I found out about like her story, I'm just kind of like, who is this lady with this voice and this face and this pen? Listen, I love me some her, and so yeah, I was like I want to talk about it with people who know stuff, and I plan to learn something because y'all be knowing things.
We do know stuff,
I
and
seen you. Yep, you do be.
so quick question: was that how you were introduced to Minnie? Was Loving You, or what brought her into your purview?
It probably was "Lovin' You" because I mean everyone's probably heard that song even if they didn't know who was singing it. But when I was a teenager, um, this girl that I like had had an answer machine message, and on it was "Inside My Love," just the part where she says, "Do you want to ride in?" Save my and it was like 8 minutes of this note. I'm like, what is that? Why am I amazed and aroused? And all the things. I'm like, who is I need to find. And like after I got like the greatest hits, it was just looking like at that song and everything else that came after it and the things that came before it and reading about like why her career was so short. I was like, wow, this is why are we not hearing more about this? And I probably didn't see a proper documentary until TV One had an unsung on Minnie Riperton. And that was God, that was in the late 2000s, early 2010s.
Yeah, I
But
think that was on
anyway,
the first season of Unsung, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken.
right.
Yeah.
And as popular as Lovin You was, like it was a pop number one, I believe, but only like number three on R&B.
Mm-hmm.
The, white people, you know what this is, and yet she hadn't been like really recognized or known, even um with her husband to keep her legacy alive. I I don't know why she stayed black famous and why she just kind of was under the radar for so long, but she's one of those people where if I want to champion somebody, it's like it's her and Donny Hathaway and the Clark sisters and everybody else from that first season of Unsung. Like she's really great, but people are like Minnie who? Oh wait, no, I've heard of Maya Rudolph though. That's really cool. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, okay, so education.
Speaking of the white and black of it, "Loving You" is not the black people's song from Minnie that they like. That's Minnie. Black people's
Memory
is Memory
lane.
Lane.
Yep. Yep.
And I can't do that song because take a guess why.
Why?
Wow.
The Save Me.
Really?
Really?
For real?
Explain yourself.
You she's singing about memory lane and whatnot and all these photographs.
Oh, so it's too
Why?
sad for you.
Yes.
Oh,
She is
as
reckoning
far
with
as
dying of cancer and singing in the song Save Me. Bitch, what the
Oh,
fuck?
okay. Okay, I got you.
well,
I got
I didn't know you. I didn't know you meant like emotionally. I thought you meant like sonically. That's why I was
you.
confused.
Right.
That's what was like.
Do we have to do a catch that about Donny Hathaway and me explain to you why someday we'll all be free is gripping?
No, he didn't.
Why you bring that up? Because no, don't do that, Mark. Because we did talk about that album, and that was a very emotional moment for me. So don't play with me.
So I know you know how you gonna act brand new right now.
Don't do that.
Me and you got to step out back.
Yeah, Jr. So how were you introduced to Minnie Riperton?
So I was actually when I heard Stevie's Creeping, I was introduced to her because I was like, who is this girl on background? Like I'm
Wow.
paying, and this is like 91, 92 when I started getting into the classic period of Stevie. And when I heard Creeping, I'm like, who is that on background? And then I looked on the liner notes, obviously, and I saw that it was Minnie Riperton. I was like, I heard that name before. I heard that name before. And then I was like, that's the chick that be singing that Loving You record. I was like, oh, that's her. Okay, cool. But then around that time, remember, Shanice did it too.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
I
That's
was
right.
like, oh, yeah, Shanice did that too. So I was like, oh. And I just started putting the pieces together. So then that's when my research actually started with her. And then I went down and saw that she actually some background on Rescue Me from what's her name?
Wait, like Fontella Bass?
Yes.
Are you serious? I didn't know that.
Her and Maurice White is singing background on that.
Told you I was
Yes.
gonna learn something.
So
Didn't know it'd be this soon.
so then after that, then I started seeing what she did, more backgrounds with Stevie, obviously, and then I started getting into her albums, and then I got, Come Into My Garden, which is my favorite. And then after that, I just kept going, and I'm just a fan of her. I'm just a fan of her voice. It's so angelic, and it captivates you, and I'm definitely a fan. And this is the time where Mariah was doing interviews and they were saying, oh, she was like, oh, Minnie Riperton is a favorite. And she inspired me with the high, whistle and all that kind of stuff and all that. But to me, I think, Minnie, the way she used it, it wasn't like it was something you were kind of waiting for. Because you know, with Mariah, it was like that high high register is what we always look for. That was like, oh, when is Mariah gonna do it? She gonna do it here? Minnie, you didn't look for that. You didn't have to, but when she did it, it was like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's was my really intro to Minnie. Yeah.
Yeah. My proper intro to Minnie because again, this is when radio was regional. So because sometimes I'd be like, well, I did hear that on the radio, and you know, Mark gave me a quizzical look or something like that. Something I said earlier, and you're like, really? And yeah, but we don't live on the same, we don't even live on the same coast. But like on the adult contemporary radio, they play a lot of Minnie. It was, I mean, it was 3 songs pretty much. It was Lovin You, Memory Lane, and Inside My Love.
Mm-hmm.
But they play those songs a lot. And so I just, it always kind of been in my orbit. But I think the first that I really looked into her music for myself was Memory Lane because of that song. And then that made me start my deep dive very, very young. And then I was just like, like, this is gorgeous. And it's multi-genre. And it's just, and then after that, then I got deep in the rotary connection stuff. So it just, so I went backwards. I didn't start the beginning and listen. I listened from the end and back. So, so yeah.
Okay, I'm late. What's the Donny Hathaway moment you were talking about, Alise?
When I was talking about Someday We'll All Be Free with Brian Alexander Morgan.
On the Stevie podcast?
On the Donny Hathaway
did you do
episode?
one on the Okay, like
obviously. Why am I still explaining it? Okay, go ahead.
I was not aware. I'm just like, okay, wait a minute. There's a context here, and I'm not filled in. I'm sorry, but
yeah,
I'm new. Like this is my first time.
I didn't say nothing. Sorry, y'all. This is what y'all gonna get. So,
okay, you're not taping this, are you? Can we edit?
yeah. So it was like from Coming to My Garden. That album is just so like it's such a favorite for me because it's just her and just you hear her voice so clear and it's just like the song Expecting. That's my favorite on the album for real. And then the orchestra behind her and all of that, you know what I'm saying? It's just like I could sit with a glass of wine and just listen to that album and just relax and chill and just really be into her voice. So it was just like after that, it was just like, all right, now it's time for Perfect Angel. Not knowing what to expect because I'm like, Loving You kind of gives you that Coming to My Garden flavor. So it's like, am I getting that again? What am I getting? Then to find out Stevie Morris was on this, you know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, okay, so we're gonna get that, especially with the fact how everything came together with this album because she was chilling at home being a wife and a mother. You know what I'm saying? Like she was like, I'm chilling, you know what I mean? And then, you know, one of the guys at Epic heard her demo and was like, we want her. You know what I'm saying? Like we want her. And then they moved her on out to LA and they said, well, who you want to work with? She said, Stevie. She was like, I want to work with Stevie. And once they was like, haha, you're joking, right? Like they thinking that she like, no, I want to work with Stevie. And when Stevie found out, he was like, absolutely, because she said they did Creeping the first time she met him. She's singing background on Creeping the first time she met him. And after the song was done, she was like, Stevie, I'm doing an album. I want you to do it. He was like, sure. Cool. Like, all right, I'll do it. And it was like he knew Motown was going to say, not so fast. You're not going to be working with this. And he had to change his name and all that because what he changed, what he called himself, Alise?
El Toro Negro.
so it was just like Motown couldn't touch it. So him and her husband Rudolph really created a production company. So it was like Motown really couldn't be a part of it. But everybody on Wonder Love is all over the album, so it really don't even matter, to be honest with you. So that's kind of like the background of what came of this album. And they said it was just fun, like they was just jamming. And I love how Lee said when we was offline, how you could kind of describe Coming to My Garden to Perfect Angel. What did you say, Alise? What was it?
It's like Come to My Garden is, nice garden party or nice dinner, and it's more formal and more structured.
Yeah.
And then Perfect Angel is we finna go get some burgers and beer with my friends and chill.
I'm sorry. I loved it. That's why I had you say it, because I loved it. You said, not the burger, and we gonna get a beer and party. Like that's what that is.
Not cheap beer, like some craft beers, but beer.
Oh, here's a difference, obviously, right? So yes. So yes, I had to have Alise do that, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The first album is very, very formal sounding. And this is Laura.
Especially with the
sit backwards
orchestra
in the
behind
chair,
her.
type, What?
Yeah. With the orchestra really behind her on Coming to My Garden. It's orchestra. This one is Stevie and them jamming. That's
yes, that part, but she's not singing the same.
No, not at all.
With that orchestra, it sounded very Wall of Sound to me, even though like Charles Stepney's on it and you get like that vibe. I hear that sound and I already think like, so this is for Dionne Warwick, right? She's about to come in and sing "Don't Make Me Over," like because that's like was like the height of that sound where like everything was very orchestrated, literally, and then you actually would have an orchestra, and then like if you did have like a single vocalist, it would be like somebody like Dionne Warwick, singing a Davis and Bacharach tune or something. But instead, it was Minnie doing just her without rotary connection, but with like Charles Stepney like in the mix, and like it was like I was late getting to that album, and I didn't know why like I hadn't heard of it, but I guess Perfect Angel was like her major label debut, where there's really kind of making her a thing.
Yeah.
Didn't she have another name like Andrea Davis for a minute that she put out like singles under?
I'm not sure.
I haven't heard that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, like I'm not studied on this, but from what I read, like she used to be like the receptionist at a record company or something, and they're like, oh, like she can sing a little bit, like let her get in the booth or whatever. So it's like she ended up doing some singles, but none of them like turned into like a huge thing. And if I can find it on Wikipedia, I will. But,
wow.
like when she's got like the greatest hits thing, like her chest years, is a whole bunch of songs she did before. I think like Come to My Garden, well maybe like Come to My Garden and before, but not Rotary Connection mostly.
Gotcha.
Like she was in a girl group, I think.
And what I always wild about her was how she shape shifted into so many different genres, because all that rotary stuff was very like psychedelic and fucking weird, and orchestral. This is more of a classical vibe, and then Perfect Angel is R&B, it's country, it's funk,
country for real.
Yeah, don't do that. And
yeah, so
we're gonna get there. Oh, we're gonna get there.
Like,
But
I'm not gonna ruin it this time. I'm gonna wait for you.
You don't want a fan. You're a fan. You're a fan. You're a fan. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh Lord Jesus. Let's get to this album, please.
Are we in agreement?
But go ahead.
This is not a black album.
I think it is.
I think it's black.
She's black, but I don't think the goal was to make an R&B black album. Like what I'm getting from this is songs that are soulful, but there's something
Uh-huh.
else also. And so like they're not trying to be what is expected of a black artist.
Uh, well, but that was the music Stevie was making at that time, and he
And
pretty
also
fucking.
Rotary Connection, you know.
But I'm saying, you look at Perfect Angel, it could take out the vocals and put Stevie on it. It could easily be a Stevie album, and it would just be.
Which is the thing I like about it. Yeah.
And then,
Yeah,
and
Yes
then
and no.
I know what
the
you're getting at, but I kind of hate that.
I
But I know
I
what
kind of
you're
do
getting
too.
at. Yeah,
Hate it with me.
yeah. Maybe that's what's been wrong. We're supposed to be hating together instead of each
but
other.
you know,
Wait, you like hating too? I should. I'm sorry. Hi, I'm Mark. You want to be friends? Maybe.
because in a way I would agree because when I heard the research, when I did research on Loving You, how they said that the label didn't even like it
They're good for that with hits.
because they said that it didn't sound black enough. So it was like, in a way, they wanted this. This is what I'm confused with because then it's like you just proved with the charts, it was like #1 on pop, but it just peaked at #3, which ain't bad either. But the white audience liked it more. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like
We went to
these
go see.
executives, I tell you.
Did we
Mm.
see what? Because sometimes that #1 and stuff is a little skewed. Because do we know what #1 was? Was it some big like BMF like project that like blocked it? Because JR,
Shit, it could
you'll be like, yeah, it should have got the #1, and then you tell me what the #1 is. I'm like, I mean, it was bigger.
it could have been probably Stevie for real.
Very
It
well
could
could have
have been
been.
him. It could have been him.
Matter of fact, was this during Stevie's run where like he got record of the year every year for like 3 years?
Yes, because this album came out what in '75, right?
70, 74, because
74.
this will be 50
So
years.
right, okay, 50 years. You're right. Inner Visions was '73.
Oh, okay. Was that
So
90?
it could have been him, to be honest with you. It could have been Higher Ground. It could have been Living for the City. Uh, well, we know wasn't Mr. Know It All.
Well, okay. So Creeping was unfulfilling this first finale, and that came out in
Yes.
'74. So
Let me let me tell you what songs were in '74 that were the top of the charts for R&B.
Okay.
Roberta Flack, "Feel Like Making Love," which was #1 for 5 weeks.
Okay.
Gladys Knight and the Pips had 3 #1s in '74.
Yes, they did.
Stevie Wonder also had 3 #1s in 1974.
Okay.
you mean on the R&B chart specifically?
Yes.
Yep. So you know why she didn't hit #1.
It wasn't available.
Right.
James Brown, Jackson 5, Aretha, Who in the Gang, who else? Barry White, I already said Shaka, Rufus and Shaka.
Wow. So it was a lot of calm. Yeah.
You got the look,
Okay.
right?
So just for some perspective. So it might have been
Right.
#3 because, Stevie was 1 and Shaka was 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
Just for some perspective.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
People don't take that into account. Like, oh, it wasn't a #1. Oh, we don't care. I don't think you understand like what #2s, 3s, and 4s can do. And back then, it wasn't the same game. It wasn't like, okay, just make sure that this is a #1, that's #1. Because like, there's some things that are #1 where it's kind of like, why? It shouldn't be up there.
Hey, Mariah. Ooh.
Why would you? Ooh.
Third person to call the stray while on here. But
Wow.
That came out. I did not mean it.
Wow.
But wow.
Alise, did he steal your line?
I wouldn't have said the name. I would have said the name. I'd have did like this or something,
All right, okay.
Fans
so we
don't come for me. I
like
love Mariah. I love her. We already did like 3 shows for her. I love Mariah.
She doesn't know you.
And don't. And she still
And
don't.
don't.
But anyway. But yeah, it's just
Mhm.
like just that perspective. Like if people will be like, oh, they was number 7. That was a top 10. Like that's most people don't get there.
Right. Right.
And when there are 6 really good songs ahead of you, number 7 is like a compliment.
That
Like
part.
if there was some garbage ahead of you, then that's an insult, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this um okay, so I've been doing a whole bunch of like research for stuff, and I found
Mhm.
this review of Perfect Angel from like 1974, like of the time.
Mhm.
Uh, Robert Crisco says, "Our Lady of the 5 Octaves, who's been working as a music teacher since the Rotary Connection passed on, sorry, since the Rotary Connection passed on, improves herself here. Abandoning mannered abruptness and pseudo psychedelic melodrama, she achieves a sensuous spirituality that may be over domesticated, but at least seems real life." He gives this album a B. He doesn't like anything. So this is high praise. Like I was looking at, like really great albums from like Springsteen or Sinatra, and it's just like, it's okay. B minus, C plus. I'm like, for real? So like even to get to this level, I'm like, how was Minnie getting even this good a review?
Yeah. It's the
She was something special for real.
you know what? He had to throw them straight. He had to hit rotary with those strays, pseudo psychedelic. Like he had to say it
You
like that.
know, honestly,
It
when I
it
look at all
wasn't
these,
called for.
this is full
It
of
wasn't.
his reviews, and it's if he wasn't like firing strays at somebody, it's like it wasn't a good review. So I think that was just like of the time. Like sometimes, what's his name? Craig Seymour will like put out his old reviews, and some of them are they will cut you. All right, but like that's I guess just what was of the time, and so
Yeah, I know him well. Yeah.
wow, with the red cup. Okay, all right.
He cut shit. He cut me on the show. Tink.
Look, I
He
just want to
so
stay on
did.
everybody's good side, except
I love
Alise.
Greg though, and Alise
He
was happy that it happened.
sure was, still am,
It be your own people.
and do,
All people.
and
What?
am clowns. Y'all so silly. Yeah, like Tara said, let's get it to this album, and he
Oh,
did like that.
oh my god! Yes. So the first song, "Reasons." I love this song. I man, like again, you can feel Stevie's presence on it for real with the production. It's kind of like it was giving me between like how he started Intervisions and how he started First Finale for real. So I got both of those. So I got like Too High and Smile Please, but just with an extra rock edge to it. You know what I mean? Like Stevie was going crazy on them damn drums because he was the one playing the
Really,
drums for
really
real.
was, and you can tell because he has a particular style.
Yes, like as soon as I heard it, I said, "Oh, that's Stevie. Oh, that's Stevie for sure playing those drums." You know what I mean? And then Marlo Henderson on that guitar, man, was whoo, them
Yeah.
two. It was like to have the drums and the guitar, and then Minnie's like voice. It just it just was so dope. It was so dope. Now I see why John Lennon lost his mind when they were making it. Like he walked in while they were making this record. It was just like they say he almost fell. He saw her like really doing this record, and it just got a nice little bounce to it too. So it's like again, Stevie probably was like, "Yo, we got to open this album like we got to come at him like boom, like we not playing with him." You know what I mean? And I think it was awesome. Awesome.
I love the guitar on it. It's just it's just you feel it. It's like
How okay, it does have bounce on it, but it is very, very rock. And
Yeah.
how often did you hear those things come together like that? I'm not used to that at all. So
yeah.
it's like that bounce is the black part, and the rock is, we'll say, it represents the other part.
You're right. That's true. That's true.
Look, okay,
That's why
so
I would want people to go on and watch the live performance that she did, and it's on YouTube, and it's amazing, man. And it's what's his name? God, what is his name? Cash McCall. That's his name. That was her band guy, and oh y'all, he's going in on that guitar, and you see the crowd just like very like just going off, and then Minnie's going off vocally, and it's just fun. Like they're having fun. So if y'all get a chance to go on there and see Reese's live, and you will really really enjoy it. Like it was really
Yeah.
really a special treat to watch. And I was watching it today, and I was like, she's so dope. And I'm like, play the shit, Cat, play the shit. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm at work. Oops.
wait, so in the live performance, did she do the same thing she does in the fade out of the album version?
Yes.
I must watch this now.
Yes, please. That's why I was just like, ah. And
And,
she was hitting the notes like it was nothing. It was so easy for her. Like,
and and speaking of the vocals, one thing that I find is that when people talk about Minnie, they of course always talk about, the whistle note, the 5 octaves, whatever. But they only talk about that 1 octave. They don't talk about the mother 4 and of how masterful she is of all the parts of her voice.
mm-hmm.
Like they don't talk about how nice the bottom is, or just when she's doing regular soprano shit. Like they don't really. I, I just don't. I think people just kind of go straight to the whistle thing, which is impressive, and she can do the whistle because her whistle is thick and melodic, and most people's whistles that I've heard out in the world and on wax is it's just no pun intended, one note.
Wow.
Well, you're right. You're right.
So
the the thing I heard about Minnie was that like she didn't just hit notes, but she could actually enunciate words. Where like you often didn't hear that. Like I think I've heard Mariah Carey do that, and what's her name, Ariana Grande do it, but like it's
she enunciated a word.
I was about to say, really? Oh,
When
okay.
did it happen? That's history making.
All
What's on
right.
there? Send it to me. I'll listen to that.
when we're done
Come
with
on, he's
this.
on the edge of a dream.
Will I be the least
Take a
shady of
little
the three
trip.
of us? Because I don't want to go out like this, man.
I mean, you said enunciate, and then you said the most non-enunciating singer of recent history.
Well, I mean, there's hitting the note, and then there's also like
I know.
phonating, making actual sound. Like everybody doesn't do that. Like people who can reach them can just barely reach them, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Right,
sometimes
right,
it's
right.
um, yeah. Minnie was just outsized with it, and it's funny because I don't know if we had heard of anybody in popular music before Minnie who was incorporating that into popular music. Now, literally just before this, I was reading like a bio about this album, and it mentioned the singer Ima Sumac from the '50s, like a Peruvian singer that did a lot of like mambo stuff, etc. She
Mm-hmm.
was able to do that, and she had a kind of operatic tone. Um, and I've only listened to a couple songs, but like even that was very different from the way Minnie actually approached it. And so like she was able to hit the notes, but I didn't hear actual words there. And also there was only a certain amount of control I heard in these. Again, like I'm only thinking about like two songs, but with Minnie, there's so many times where I'm like, I don't know if there's multiple takes that she did, but it's just like, how are you just like this vocally rich and like giving this stuff away like it's free? And we're like, what is that? We've never heard of that in life, and it's just mind blowing. And then for it to be that, and like her pass on like in the I think it was 79 or 80,
79,
and
yeah.
then just kind of fall into obscurity in a sense to people. I'm like, how do you forget that? How do you not like why wasn't the music itself enough to make her unforgettable? Like why are we having to market her to people or like remind people, hey, did you know that this person existed? Did you see this example? Like other people have like followed it or they've tried to imitate it, but it hasn't been equaled.
Hmm.
I know.
Did you hear what she did? She's amazing. Oh, that's cool. But
Yeah.
and really, Ariana Grande is not bad. She's a good singer. Like people who like Ariana Grande, they have good taste.
Mhm.
But like, I'm like, have you also heard about Minnie, about Mariah, about Psy, about Lisa Fisher, about like all these people who have this ability and others that make them very, very unique. And so you can kind of contextualize these other people that are probably following the same playbook, but like you think, well, this is the first time I heard it, so it's the first time it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And and then I also think Minnie also gets caught up in just Stevie's world too.
Really?
So that's I think a lot of people for real because when you think it's always when you talk about Stevie and the females he with, that's when I feel like I hear a lot of Minnie getting discussed. Like I hear her and Denise and Yvonne and all them, and I feel like
Sarita.
a lot of them, Sharita, like I feel like they get caught up in that Stevie world, and it's like y'all they've done stuff on their own, but it seems like they're only discussed when it's him. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Okay,
Oh,
I
that
ugh.
agree
hasn't
with you
been
mostly. So
um,
go ahead,
that
Elise.
hasn't been my experience. Most people I know don't know that she worked with Stevie. They
Oh,
don't.
okay,
Most people don't know about One to Love and all that. I come from non-music head people. They don't know that.
okay.
I
Not people like regular.
I
I,
was gonna
Yeah.
say
I
like
don't feel like that's the common knowledge you think that you perceive it to be in your world, in your bubble. But
Mhm.
I don't think that's a common thing that people know.
so I
You
was
know
just
you
about to
got
say
a point because everybody ain't read a lot of notes and stuff like that either. So it's not really paying attention to who's doing backgrounds. Like you said, that's just a bubble that I guess I see a lot. And you know what I mean? And it's just like I'll be like, y'all, I'm like y'all, like sometime on Twitter, even before I met you guys, I was just like, yo, why nobody don't talk about Minnie by herself? And when I see on my timeline, it'd be like, oh my God, Minnie did this with Stevie and this and this. I'm like, hello, y'all.
Literally never seen any of those posts that you speak of. You had to start sending
Wow.
them to me. I've never seen them. I'm just showing you people's realities is different depending. I have not seen people talking about that in that way. I hear people talking about her for Loving You, Inside Your Love, and Memory Lane, and that's been the extent really. Now, yes, music has, but I'm just talking about just regular lay people.
Now,
I have
regular,
not.
yeah,
I literally have never. I have not seen that much. I won't say I've never seen it, but I don't see it often. I'm just saying it's different perspective, but I just have that's not my testimony. Yeah.
right,
okay,
right.
so
Got you.
I'd be inclined to agree with JR in part because I think the way Stevie associated himself with really, really talented female vocalists, the first thing it makes me think of is Prince's orbit. Now that's one where if you were associated with Prince, you probably were only going to get so far because he wasn't known for creating talents that outshined him ever. And I would say even with like Sheila E, she existed before him, so like she just kind of continued her thing with his momentum. Whereas
Right.
Stevie, like I think when he picked people like Minnie, like Denise, um, you have to be real dope yourself to surround yourself with people like that. Like you have to be Whitney and know that you can have faith and Kelly on your record and you will not get washed. So, um, like at a certain point, like you really have to be dope to surround yourself with people who are that good and know that you can still hold your own. I don't feel like Stevie's orbit of singers um, got swallowed by him. If anything, they got elevated because like I know about Sarita, but then she also ended up going, doing other things with Motown, like on her own. She had her
Mhm.
own like career trajectory.
Right.
And Minnie too. Like this is the only album that Stevie produced for her. I don't know if they ever worked it together again until he joined in for the Love Lives Forever album, unless I'm wrong, which is entirely possible. I don't know the credits on the Minnie album. So
I, I don't think he did anything on that album at all. I don't
and I'm
think.
surprised because I know it was a busy period for Stevie, but like I always thought that there was a very much like a kindred like kind of relationship between him and Minnie.
Hmm.
Particularly if you're gonna drop everything you're doing and produce her major label debut while you're having like the run of your life.
Right, right. And I mean, when Brian was on the show, Brian said like Stevie loves female voices. You know what I'm saying? Like he loves them. You know what I mean? So that's why he was like, yeah, he called me when Coco, he heard her. It was like, who's that girl? You know what I'm saying? Like, and Brian, like, wait a minute. Didn't I sung background for you at the Grammys? You remember me? He like, no, I want to know who that girl is. You know what I'm saying? So Stevie loved female voices. So like you said, again, and at least I love you're right, because normal people are not gonna know the background that she did for Stevie. Like normal people are not gonna think about that. A lot of them is gonna know them 3 songs and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
And look,
And we know to this day, Inside My Love wasn't even that big. You
should
know
have
what I'm
been,
saying?
wasn't, but should have been.
It should have been,
No.
but it wasn't. You know what I mean? So at least you're right. It's just, I guess, that bubble that I'm in, and I just saw all of that because that's music heads really talking about it. You know what I mean? But Mark, the way you said it, it propelled them. You know what I mean? Like, he like, shit, I want them to win. Go ahead. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And it really, how
do
did you
y'all.
find
So,
out she did background on Rescue Me? Because most people, well, when I say most people, I mean me, thought that song was Aretha Franklin for a long time. And then I'm
oh,
realizing,
yeah.
oh, you know,
Lime
so,
Wire did too, and Kazaa did too, and all
right,
of
okay,
them.
yeah,
Yes, they used to say it was Aretha, and it wasn't.
that's an
But
era.
yeah, yeah, yes, wasn't it? Oh, kill computers. But
Yeah.
when I saw that, and when I saw the research that her and freaking Maurice Starr, like I was like, no, Maurice Starr, Maurice White was on
Mm.
there. I was like,
A whole
what?
other person. That's a whole
Right.
other person.
Cool it now, Alise.
Yeah. So, so yeah, so I was shocked myself, to be honest with you. And then now, because she was in a group, the Gems.
Yeah, that's the stuff that would have been like before this.
Yes,
See,
and
see,
she
I
was
know
on
this
there
stuff.
with them, and they were on there. So I was just like, wow, you never know. So it's like Minnie paid her dues, you know what I'm saying? Like for real. So that's why this album is, I think, is like a success for her for how big it was, for all the dues that this woman paid to get here. You know what I mean? So yeah. But yeah, you're right, Lise. I think them 3 songs is what everybody know. So yeah, let me get out of my music
Well,
bubble for a
you live
second.
in, but it is not the one that I reside in. But you know,
I'm sorry. We
it's
can pause all this
reasons. You know,
conversation. I think this has been just off of reasons.
Right. We ain't even get through the thing yet. All
It's
right.
been an
All
hour.
right.
Would you like to talk about song number 2?
Right. So
And
it's so
I'm not
nice
going to
to
interrupt this
see
time. I'm just going to
old
listen.
friends. It's so nice to see old friends.
that's
Hi,
that's
JR.
that's a choice. Yeah,
Isn't it though?
yeah,
Well, this is actually a great organic country song.
it is.
So,
Yeah, it is very country. It
mm-hmm.
also, Mark, why I hesitated to answer your question about this whole black business is because at its core, this country ass song that's black as fuck.
It
If
is.
if you want to be technical and correct about it,
Yeah. Yep.
because this is a country song, but it feels natural. It doesn't feel there's no gimmick. It's just a girl and a guitar and it's just it's
Like, and I'm gonna say specifically slide guitar that probably gets identified as country because we put guitars in a whole bunch of places. Like Jimi Hendrix existed, and we know that like you can be very very black, and we can funk with guitars. So it's not guitars themselves
Right.
that are country, even if that is regarded as antithetical to black. There are different racial reasons because of America that has to be separated out like that. But right when I was writing about Love Lives Forever, I'm like, the thing that probably tripped Minnie up often is because she's a woman with brown skin, And so back then they would see your face and automatically put you in the R&B like section, even if the music wasn't categorically R&B. So much of Perfect Angel is that and something else. It's not just R&B. And it's so nice to see Old Friends is one of them that's like, okay, this isn't, it's not trying to be country. It's like, okay, we're going to do a little bit of this. And just like weave it on in real nice and natural, nice and easy like. And that probably would still be like, well, even if she's doing that, like this could be regarded as a rock album, but because she has brown skin and she's on the cover with natural hair, which very much mattered for me, it would be like, okay, so you're probably an R&B artist. There weren't, I don't think there was a marketing department that said like, oh yeah, like file her here so that she has access to these other acts as well. Now I'm 45. Yeah, all right. I was born in 79. I wasn't there in 74. But from what I recall, a lot of the segregation of music was still happening then. So, unless I'm wrong, I know that that has something to do with how the music is received or whether it even gets to be received by certain audiences. Some people would buy an album based on the cover. If you don't see the cover because it's not in the section where you shop, you don't get to like actually sample the music. So, how did
I
Lovin
want my
You even
voice
get?
back on this album cover, sir.
What about the album cover, Alise?
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. You're
I'm
not
not.
sorry at all. I know you.
Wait,
You don't have to lie on the internet.
I don't. I know.
But
But yes, album covers matter. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I don't like you
and
no more. I'm
then
gonna talk.
but you know what the,
All I can think of is
you
Five
mean
Heartbeats. Like, "Oh, my boy back on this album cover." Like that.
mm-hmm.
Oh God.
So, what were you saying, JR? I'm sorry. I'm shut up.
No,
Mm.
you fine. No, because it did. I want to go back to the song because I'm like, with this, it was country and it was folk-ish.
Oh, that yeah.
And, and we know Stevie loved folk. He's a folk guy. Like he loved folk music. So
Mm-hmm.
I know this was something that he was definitely enjoying for real. Like this song gave me the flavor of Never Dream You Leaving Summer. I got a little bit of that flavor from this
I feel that.
for real.
Okay.
And
No, no,
yeah,
go ahead.
and
Go ahead.
I got that. And it's just like with this song too, it felt like it was just you and Minnie sitting by a campfire and she's just talking and she's singing. And it's a little guitar, like Alise said. It's like she got a guitar in her hand and she's playing. That Alise does a lot now. And you know what I'm saying? And it's like and you're having a conversation with her. You know what I'm saying? You laughing, you having a good time. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, I know the world is cold, but just rest your head on my shoulder and let's just have a good time. You know what I mean? Like that to me is again, her voice brings you in. It like makes you feel what the song is really about. And I think this song was just, it was great. Like y'all said, it was very organic. It wasn't forced. It was just like Minnie doing what she doing, Stevie doing what he doing, and everybody else on Wonder Love doing what they doing too. So it's like I think it's a great song, especially after Reasons. You know what I mean? Because we got the rock edge. Now this we got the folk, and and I get where you were going with it, Mark. It was like we getting different styles of music. It's not true, really quite R&B yet, and we on track 2. We gonna get black on the next one, but we ain't blackity black yet. You know what I mean? So yeah.
The Blackity. Now, I love how you brought up Never Dreamed You'd Leave in Summer because those chords of progression from like the 1 and the 4 basically, Stevie makes it mournful and that song will just like tear you down if it catch you on the wrong day. But this is just
Yes.
like it's nothing but like good vibes and it's so stereotypically Minnie. Like she's great with writing songs that like just make you want to like rest your head on somebody's shoulder, like sway by a campfire or whatever. It's the other thing though, Stevie didn't write this song. Minnie did. Minnie and Richard did.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and she wrote everything that Stevie didn't, which is most of the album. And so like it's
Bing.
not just Stevie doing his thing. I'm like, I you really didn't see that often. from my perspective. I could be wrong, probably am wrong. I would love to hear like examples of the contrary.
Yeah.
But you
And
know,
then another side thing about the countryness of it,
mhm.
the person who was on steel guitar, Sneaky Pete, who is a prolific guitarist, he's in the steel guitar Hall of Fame. Like, so, that was also a nice, little cheat code into that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad somebody reads the liner notes besides me because my research was not done, and so I'm just sitting here learning. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and educate me the rest of the way because clearly, like what I know about this is only scratching the surface. But that's also like Minnie's projects are deep, and the people that are on it are like really, really um, like crack musicians, the ones where you call them in to like do the big jobs. Like you're talking about like Wonder Love. These aren't just like people they brought in off the street. You know,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
the musicianship is always like high, like top notch. This is why I love digging into these projects. But there's more that comes from that. You was gonna say something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then we come into Take a Little Trip, which
My
that's just a
man.
Stevie writing credit. And this
Yes.
always used to be my favorite song on here. But when I listen to it today, it changed. It's something else today, but that's my normal favorite song on this album.
Um, that was one of my discoveries because I was only listening to like Perfect Angel and Lovin You, and then I hadn't gotten into the album for a while. And then listening to this, I'm like, what have I been missing? I should have been listening to this. And have you listened to the deluxe edition of this album that came out a few years ago? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Jr., can you read my mind?
Yeah. I didn't even know that existed until I started researching for this show that existed. So
Yeah,
so
I
I
knew
didn't
it
have time to try to hear some songs. So.
yeah, I knew it like a maybe about 2 years ago. And I was like, oh, they have a deluxe version of this. I was like, let me check this out. And the expanded version of these songs, oh my god. Go ahead, Mark, because I haven't actually got a story about this record, but go ahead.
Okay,
What?
because I love stories, but like I was just like, wait a minute. So there's a version of this where Stevie's singing it as a duet with Minnie, and
Mm-hmm.
it didn't make the album. I heard it, and I'm like, okay, I can see why they would cut this, but I'm so glad they included it on the deluxe because wow, this exists. And even like there's another, I think it's Our Lives where you can actually hear them. No, sorry. There's an acoustic version of Seeing You This Way,
Seeing you this
and
way, yeah.
and you can actually hear Minnie and Stevie talking to each other before the take starts. I'm like, oh, it's the documentary that I wish I could have been at. But Take a Little Trip with Stevie on it is just like for as much as I wish I could see them like do this performance together, like they collaborated in the studio, but you get to actually hear both artists like interact with each other. I love it so much. It feels so special. And I know it's not essential to the album, but man, it was loving the song as much as I did hearing a different take of it. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Those alternative takes are just dope. Like I love when they bring them out. Like when they did that with Marvin with What's Going On. You got like
Oh man,
10 different alternative versions of this. And it was like,
what the Detroit
oh,
mix,
oh,
and
that
then
was taken out? Well, wait, what? Like, oh,
and
yeah,
it could have been an
yeah,
entirely different album if they'd have like changed just a few things.
yes,
That stuff always.
absolutely,
I mean,
absolutely.
for the nerds, you can
So,
definitely eat for this. But go ahead.
yeah, so when I heard this record, it was crazy because I heard it before. And I heard this on the original version of Biggie's Me and My Bitch.
Really?
It's the original version of Me and My Bitch. So this version was supposed to, they wanted this version, it was done. Stevie loved it, but he was like, no cursing. And come on, you got a song, Me and My Bitch. You can't change anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't. So they ended up choosing another record. Cause I remember when I heard this, I was like, mind you, I'm listening to it now and I'm really getting into it. And I'm now my mother, I'm like becoming my mother, like, whoa, this sample is from somewhere. I know this. I heard this before. what is this? And mind you, this is around the time where I'm in the big. I think this was around the time I was actually listening to Ready to Die. This is 94, 95, and I'm into this. So I'm like, I know this from. It's like, oh, this is big. And then when I went and did my research and saw that Stevie loved the record, like he loved the song, but he was like, nah, I can't let this rock because y'all he's cursing too much into it. So I was just like, damn, yo, like, dead, like, because I love the original version of Me and My Bitch. I do. I love how they take a little trip on there. I was like, damn, but Stevie was on his Aretha joint, like what she did with Kanye. She was like, nope. But that's why he kind of sped it up a little bit. So you can't really tell, like, yeah, listen to School
Wow.
Spirit. Because Aretha was like, if it's cursing on it, no. And that's what Stevie was at. You know what I'm saying? But
All right, nigga.
this.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, go ahead, sis. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say y'all started talking about everything except this song. You talk about the alternate version, then the sample. Can we talk about this?
I was about to get back
okay.
into it. Yeah, this song to me, this is when we get, like I said before, it gets blackety black. Like this is an R&B record for real, for real. Like you coming out of the rock, you coming in the country folk. Now we get into this R&B bag. You know what I'm saying? This is R&B Minnie to me, and it's like to me, to me.
It's R&B ish. The vocals are giving very R&B, but the song still
Yes,
does. Well, but when she did a do, that don't sound R&B to me.
very
That sound
jazzy.
Yes,
jazz,
it is absolutely
jazz.
jazz.
It sounds jazz and country it's like jazz with a twang.
It reminds me
I
of
like
Someone You
that. I
Love.
like that. I like that. Yeah. I'll give you that. I give you that. I give you that. It is because for real, I was just like, this kind of gave me a little bit of creeping musically. Not that, but music. And clearly she's on it. So it was just like it gave me that. And creeping is very jazzy. Very jazzy. You know what I mean? So for that, you're right, sis. It definitely jazzy, but a little something to it. You know what I mean? So yeah, this was definitely a favorite for me. And then how she holds that note at the end, I was like, Minnie, you unfair. Like you're that, like, come on, like that, like you riding with her, you know what I'm saying? You taking this journey vocally with her, and then she gets to the end and does this note, and it was like, oh, this trip is over. Cut. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like, man, you wrong for that. But girl, do your thug this. Ain't nobody doing it like you, and you know it. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, I'm gonna end the track like this. Boom. I was like, that's a bad motherfucker right there.
Truly. Like, but those progressions are very jazz to me. And so, like, they remind me of when Stevie does this, like, Cinnamon Your Love, and you hear the. Oh, 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 Cinnamon Your Love. That one, listen. So, like, when I hear Take a Little Trip, I'm like, it's almost like the practice before he ended up doing his thing later. And I think that was like 80. At least you know the journey through the Secret Life of Plants. When did that come out?
79.
Oh, I don't know
Oh, I
Jazz.
thought you.
I can
Oh,
talk bad. No, I can talk a lot of things about Jazz, but he's the date guy. So you go to him for the date. I ain't got it. I ain't got it.
Dad, did she just say go ask your father?
Basically.
Basically.
But
Basically.
yo, Take a Little Trip is so musically rich to me. Like I really want to just like sit at a keyboard and try to figure out what those chords are because those are not natural for me. Like I have to find out how they connect and then like how they work. But like you're listening to them and everything just feels smooth and it fits. But if you're like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, that's not usual. You usually don't jump from this to that and then that to that and then the music just kind of so the melody just kind of floats a little bit on top of it and it's not complicated. It's not like singing "Sophisticated Lady," where it's always like it's nothing that's super complicated. It's just like you can hum along with "Take a Little Trip with Your Mind," and right,
Oh,
and um it's not super complex, the melody, but
at all.
the trip that it is taking through the music is one that is robust, I would say, at the very least. I mean,
No,
it
I
is so
totally
hard to
agree.
describe. Go ahead.
No, I would say I totally agree. No.
I love it. And thank you for bringing us back, because we can start off into every discussion or whatever.
Really? For real?
Back.
Oh God.
Right. Seeing you this way.
I love now, like Mark said, now that they brought that extended version out, how you can hear her and Stevie talking now. Like before then, I used to think like, yo, they were just jamming with this record for real. I mean, they are, but I would always think about the last like 70 seconds of this record and how Minnie is just showing off vocally, and Stevie and them are just playing. Like they just going and she's just following them. You know what I mean? And it's such a marriage for the last like 70 seconds. I was just like, every time I'm listening to it, I'm just like, oh, I don't want this to end. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just that dope to me. And it's just like that bass line, shout out to Reggie McBride, kicking ass. The bass line on this is kicking ass. And it was just like, again, this song is just, for me, it's more musical. And I think many were just following them. I think they were just, to me, they were just jamming. I always think that this was because the article that he did, that Richard did, wasn't this might have been the first song that they did for the album?
I don't know. Now I want to go find it.
I think so. The one on OK Player that he did, and I think they said this. I think, don't quote me. This might have been the first song. So if this was, it was kind of like they were just jamming a little bit. You know what I mean? Like getting their feet wet. Like, oh, this is how we gonna start this. You know what I mean? What's the vibe? And if it was, that's what I get with this. But now that they brought the extended version out, and you got Stevie and her talking, I think that's just such a gem. Just to hear them two talking, it's just such a gem. Like you like, oh, this is what the studio sounds like. Damn, this is the session that I missed. I wasn't there with my rec up on this one, so yeah, it felt good for me to be.
Yes, and he did guess that "Seeing You This Way" was one of the first songs that he did for the record. I just went and found the OK Player article.
Okay.
JR, with the research.
Can y'all do me a favor for the rest of the discussion of this album? Can we talk about the song or the record first and then talk about the extended?
I thought we were talking about the song on the record. Anyway.
To help me out, because I can't give you those, but at least we talk about the first thing. Well, I'm being serious. I'm being honest. I'm telling you my need.
The album version of this,
need is to talk about the version first and then talk about how it's different and extended. That's the natural progression of things, I think.
But I will try to follow the natural progression of things. I will try to follow the natural progression of things. Okay. Now, if I mess up, chalk it up to.
That's why. That's why I was
like I'm
now.
not contributing. I'm being honest. I feel like I'm not contributing because y'all talk about the extended thing and then you talk about the song for like 2 seconds.
I'm sorry. Look, this is a song.
And because I haven't heard it at all, so I don't know. And so
my bad. Now I like boxing Alise out whenever I can, but I don't like doing it on accident. I mean to. I'm sorry.
It's better me tell you that now than me to be sitting later and mad. You're like, Jerry, I ain't even let me talk about it because I did. I'm like, why you did it?
Next thing you know, we'll be having a whole bunch of angry
That's why I went back. That's why I was like, ooh, when Mark brought it up, and that's why I was like, oh, let me go back in the last 70 seconds of the record. That's why I was like, let me go back to the song and talk about that.
Were you talking about the last 70 seconds of the album version or the acoustic version that's on the deluxe?
The album version. I'm talking about the album version. The album version for me. That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
But first thing you said was on the extended version. So see where I was confused? I didn't know what the fuck you was talking about.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
so just to let it be known, the deluxe version of Perfect Angel has just the regular version of the album remastered, and then they have like there's a single version where you get the countdown before it happens, which is just, I think it was something that was actually on a 7 inch, and like that's that. Then the second disc of the album, they have extended versions of almost every song except not Take a Little Trip. Take a Little Trip instead is a duet with Stevie Wonder, which is amazing to hear. Seeing You This Way is uh, not extended, but it's an acoustic version. It's actually like kind of pared down without the drums, and it's just real laid back and then beautiful. I still prefer the album version because it reminds me of Sarita Wright, like the kinds of songs that would be like, when Stevie gets those drums and just be tumbling, and like it's like I'm trying to think of a song that would remind me of like I'm Going Left, or I'm trying to think what it would be. It's something that's really specific to Stevie's sound, and Seeing You This Way sounds like that, particularly with the congas in the background, just like nonstop,
Oh yeah.
like for real, like just going off. I'm like, for real, nobody willing to dial that down. They're just like, nope, let it rock all the way. Like, okay, I'll go with it then. And this is a very good time song, a lot of energy in it, and even for it
Yes.
not being like rocky the way Reasons is. Anyway, sorry.
And I'm with you on the Seeing You This Way, because when I was listening to it back and when it first came in, and I just expected to hear Stevie come in. I forgot I was listening to a Minnie album for a second. I was like, did I have something did I have a Stevie in my queue from I listened to earlier? And it came on, and then the first 20 seconds is just weird to me because I actually don't like that little intro, little vocalization thing. I don't like that.
Either.
I do not enjoy it at all.
I don't either. Like, I ain't even gonna lie to you.
It almost ruins the whole song for me, but then the rest of the song comes in and it's like, nothing could make me hate you.
Right.
I need to learn what that song did and try to do it myself.
I did. I'm glad you said it, sis, because I'm that too. Like, when it first comes on, I'm like, ooh. Oh, okay, we good. All right, and we okay.
I was saying, I hope she don't do this the whole song. If she don't,
she doesn't. No.
Can we not police the Black Joy in 1974? Let this woman be happy and play around a little bit.
Yeah, and we didn't Take a Little Trip. Like on Take a Little Trip, the little like I like that, and even though it's slightly silly, just a slight, but it sounds so. I like it a lot. Like it's the part that stands out in the song. But this one is the part I wish I could repress rather. Suppress it too. Of that song. I love when I make Mark laugh.
Okay, I just want to let her rock because that is like Janet laughing on any track. Let her laugh. It just has to happen, and it's, if you don't like it, scroll on. But come on, man. It's so fun and cute and childlike, which is one of the things that I love about Minnie. Even when she's singing "Inside My Love," there's innocence in the voice.
Oh yeah. In fact, that innocence in the voice is what made people kind of not realize how much of what she was talking about. Even if she won't talk about that.
Somebody didn't realize. Who was it? Point them out.
Part, at least that part.
Anyway.
No, I'm talking about like kids listen to it. When I was a kid, I didn't.
Okay, well, I didn't hear that song until I knew a little something about something. I was like, yeah, you ain't hiding that.
Didn't I tell y'all at the beginning, like I always heard it. It just was always, those songs were always there.
Always, yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. So that's a whole discussion about like Adventures in Paradise. Maybe we can talk about that later. But as for this, Innocence and Seeing You This Way, and we like it.
Sounds great.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. So sorry, but Seeing You This Way, and then we come into The Edge of a Dream.
My favorite song on the album.
Really?
Yeah, that's today, that's my favorite song today. But it's normally Take a
Yes.
Trip.
Really?
Yeah.
What makes it your favorite though?
Yeah.
I love the vulnerability of this song. It has a vulnerability to it. It has a spirit to it. It's like it's spiritual for real. And then to have the girls, all of them, on background and their oohs, it's like it feels very church to me. Like this song is it's very thick, and it brings chills. I even got chills like talking about it. Like that's how much this song really, really touched me. And then the words, you know what I'm saying? Because like Richard said in that interview, he was like, yo, we always tried to have a message and sing something that meant something. And this was definitely like a, a Martin Luther King type of record. He would have loved this type of, because they was kind of going off of If I Had a Dream type of thing. You know what I'm saying? She was like, yo, like, I see kids playing in the sun, and there is love enough for each and every one. As I sit on the edge of his dream, that's what I see. Like, she's like a new world. You know what I'm saying? And then like I
Idealism.
just see, yes, like I see the Lord inside of everyone. Can it be my dream will really come? Like that right there, just like you want to see the God in everybody because God is love. So you want to see the love in everybody. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it just has such a spiritual song to it, a feeling to it. And I just like how they just let it ride. And the girls, just, you got freaking Denise on there, you got Lonnie on there, you got Minnie, Shirley, and Yvonne singing background on this. And it's just those oohs to me, gets me every
Yeah.
time. Like,
And
whoo,
after I thought about it, JR, because you were like, you don't know what my favorite song. Then I was like, it probably is that because of those background vocals, they
mhm.
feel like 60 girl group backgrounds.
Yes, very Adante-ish.
So yeah,
Yes.
yes. So that makes a lot of sense, JR.
Yeah.
Once I
That's
thought
what,
about
because
it,
I was like, at least,
I was like,
I was
it
like,
got
at
to be
least
that one.
I was like, at least you know what my favorite song on this album is. You was like, nah, but I don't believe her. She
So,
knows
yeah, I
me
had to think
from
about
this.
it. I had to think about
Yeah,
it.
so this is my favorite. It's
What's
just, and then
interesting
they just
is
let it ride at the end. This song is all about feeling. So that's me. So if I'm in it, you know.
musically it
And
has
it's
that
pretty
same
and
progression
delicate.
though.
It's a delicate little pretty. It's just pretty. It's
She
pretty.
specializes
Yes,
in
it's just
those. Like these are the same kind of chords that are in "It's So Nice to See Old Friends,"
It is.
it
It
which
is.
is
is.
totally okay. I
Well,
think it's in a different key.
the piano just sounds so good. It's just right. It's
That's
not too
Stevie.
much. It's the piano is sickening. Like it's yeah.
He
Oh,
was
and this
L.
was also the
And
B
what
side
was
of
he on
"Lovin
this
You."
album, Alise? He wasn't Stevie on this album. What was he, Alise?
El Toro Negro.
You got to say it with your shoulders every time, and I
And
practice.
do.
You putting a lot on it. You putting a lot.
Yes,
oh,
Oh
oh
my
my
god.
God. And this was actually the B side to Loving You.
Yep.
it sure was.
Yep. So it's just like,
They made sense together. Them songs as cousins. Like they made sense together.
musically, yes, it
Like
makes sense.
yeah, they're not the same, but they share a grandma.
Okay. Since we all family here.
They cousins
Huh?
and they share grandma. I'm sorry.
Come on, the
I'm
next episode
sorry.
to catch that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Just when we resurrect JR because I killed him.
Okay, let me breathe. Go ahead.
That nigga dead right now.
Don't do that to me, please. At least I'm trying
Oh,
my
at
best
least
to
I
act right
hate you.
here.
Oh God.
Don't.
Okay.
Don't.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. We on the edge of a dream.
Yes. Beautiful song.
Featuring the Adante.
Oh, gosh.
Beautiful song. I
Come on, Alise.
get.
Okay.
Do the thing. Since you're the one that brings order to our court.
No, JR's the one.
And he's taking the day off. It's you. You gotta do
He's the one that keeps us.
Okay, we're at the title song, the title track of the album, Perfect Angel. Whew. What do y'all think of this song?
Two enthusiastic thumbs up and a heart,
Love it.
sunshine, all that.
Perfect Angel is my favorite. And it
Oh,
pulled my
why?
attention away from everything, really, because I didn't have the album itself for a while. I had the greatest hits. And I bought the greatest hits for Inside My Love, but I kept listening and I was just like, oh, okay, that's nice, that's nice, that's nice. And what's that one thing with the doom 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 with the bass line and then like these chords and the almost like lullaby like chords. That's of course that's Stevie. And like the intro itself just makes me be like, whatever's happening, like I just need to have a better day. I just want to put my hands up in the air and be like, yay, it's a good day. Like it makes me feel like a kid. Like I want to go play with like jacks or like Uno cards or something, and just forget that I got bills entirely. Because Perfect Angel is so like nothing about that song sounds like anything has ever gone wrong in her life.
Yeah,
And it's
agreed.
just a feeling that like carries over. Like anytime I hear the intro alone, I don't even have to hear the rest of the song. I just be like, ooh, yay.
But you know what? I gotta hear the whole thing because you know what my favorite part of the song is?
My mama
told
So I knew it. I knew it.
Yes.
I should have known. I wonder who came up with that because
I love it.
it is so cute and sassy and like it's got two Afro puffs and
Yes.
a hand on the hips. So.
Yeah.
My mama told me if I was goody. It is so cute and so sweet. I can't do nothing but smile with my whole teeth every song.
And I mean that song. I mean that song. You expect that cover matches that song, matches this album. Like
absolutely. And
it's like I'm grown, but I'm a big kid. I'm sassy. I'm grown. Don't forget I'm grown. Ain't no shirt under these overalls. I'm grown. You know.
I'm gonna give you credit for this. I have never put together the song's attitude and the album cover until just this moment. I get it now. Okay, thank you, Alise.
You're welcome.
So when I write about this for albumism and those things connect, you can be like, yeah, that was me. I did that. That was
you can credit me. It's fine.
I don't ever, so I figured I might as well start here.
You'd be like, naturally, Alisa, the R&B representatives brought it to my attention.
Now
and I had a eureka moment.
Look, apart from that moment there, JR, your girls with the background vocals.
Yes, Lord. Yes,
they're so
Lord.
Sassy and cartoonish, and I love that.
Yes.
It's not dramatic, but it's colorful and fun, and it's like they were all just playing around in the studio and somebody just happened to be recording. So like, oh, go keep it, do it again. Oh yeah, we like it. Okay.
Yeah.
You're good. That's it. That take will go.
It's like for me when I hear it's like Stevie's playing the piano, Minnie's right here, and then the girls is just behind her, and they just all just having they just having a good old time. Like this song is just so happy and just so. And according to Richard, he said that Stevie made the song really like about them.
About who?
He was inspired to make it about them too. That's what if you read that OK Player interview, he says that in there. He was like, Stevie really wrote this song, and he was around us, and he was inspired to make the song about me and Minnie. That's what he said in the old play in there. So I was like, okay. I was like, okay.
Look, man, if you think of the feeling that you get whenever you see your favorite cousin, your favorite auntie, you see them, you're like, oh my God, my favorite. And you want to give them a hug. That's what I feel
Yeah.
like when I hear that song, when I see this album
Yeah.
cover. Oh my God, I just want to put my arm around, like, I know her or something. And it's just like, I don't know how she embodies that. Like, she's just a person. She's a mom. She probably cussed a couple of people out in her life. They probably deserved it. But like, still, you know, somehow she just becomes this representative of joy for me, and that's part of why I love the album. Because like even like you're talking about Edge of a Dream, and it's so nice to see old friends. Like that was her vibe, and it came through on so many of the songs. Like I don't get like the pain and the struggle that you would get from like Phyllis Hyman and Donny Hathaway records, where like that they communicated for some reason. The frequency that Minnie was on, like joy could just shoot through at all the time, and it's just I don't know how or what really did it. If it was like the tone of her voice or like just her lyrics or the musician she chose or the whatever it was about the way they recorded it, but it just even the songs like Memory Lane, it wasn't until I read about the song that it made it harder to listen to because any other time I'm like, oh, it's just Minnie having a good time. I don't hear the struggle in her.
Yeah. Now, when we were talking about Memory Lane before we got on camera, the thing with Memory Lane, no, I thought it wasn't sad. There's a sad song, but I didn't think about the other sad part of it. No, it's a sad and dark song.
Really?
It ain't. The lyrics show ain't happy.
Is that
they're
like
not,
when you
I mean, they're
when you
not.
listen to Reasons
It's
by
not
Earth, Wind and
abject
Fire?
sadness, but it's not. This album is bright and light, but once you get into Adventures in Paradise, you start to see kind of some darker things and more sultry, sensual things. So dark as in mood, but dark as in things you do in the dark, you know. So
right.
But this album is I actually wore this shirt for a reason. Like this album is sunshine. It is.
I thought you were just reinforcing your branding.
I mean, I don't need the shirt.
Right. You know good and damn well.
That just exists.
Anyway, Jay, I get your friend.
I swear I love y'all.
I'm trying to treat her good, and she working my
You
ass.
don't know what to do with me neither.
Likewise, she don't know what to do with me either.
See, I don't know how you found somebody to love you because you were not goody. All right.
I found y'all on the same day. I found y'all on the same exact day.
Right.
It's amazing how different things can be, right?
Going back to perspective. Yeah.
Seriously.
That part.
But yeah, Perfect Angel is a perfect song. It is just it's just happy. It's bubbly. Like Mark earlier said, like almost cartoonish, but that's not like an insult. It's that happy. It's just you know, you think of Mickey Mouse working like that, you know.
Yeah.
But not in a corny way at all.
At all.
No, it's not.
Cartoony and cool.
Yeah. Exactly that. Exactly that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right, what we got next?
Every time he comes around.
Get on my damn nerve. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at Mark and it threw me off. It threw me off my square.
Oh Lord Jesus. Niecy wasn't done. Niecy was not done. She was not ready to leave this album sessions yet. Cause that's her doing them high. Cause Minnie it wasn't her. Minnie was like, go ahead, Denise, you can have it, girl. You take it.
Really?
Did you hear all that haunting in the back? That's Denise.
That's Niecy.
So
this is Niecy.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I like how you did that.
I like it a lot. That's cute.
Y'all got a lot of catch that this episode. What? But yes, and then he said that Stevie wanted to make it very haunting. So that's why he had her doing that, all them hide stuff in the back. You know what I'm saying? Like he wanted it to feel like that. But Marlo was playing the hell out of this guitar, man. Like,
Oh, it's very impressive on this one.
listen
Like
here.
I come to pay attention to the guitar more than anything else going on, and there's a lot good going on. But I'm just like locked into that.
Uh-huh.
That sounds so good.
That's why I was paying attention to guitar and I was paying attention to Nisi. And then a part where Minnie actually sounds, ooh, I was like, Minnie, wait a minute, girl. You kind of, ooh. I was like, all right, when she do that, I lose control. I was like, oh, all right, all right, all right, Minnie. Let me, I was like, maybe, nah. Like,
Let's stay out of grown folks' business.
right, like, nah.
Y'all need to go find a room somewhere.
That, but her husband said, he was like, yo, he said hearing her do this record, it was very hot. I said, okay. So we know what happened after they went home.
I'll
Was she a
bet.
perfect angel that night, Richard?
Hey,
Wow.
hey. What's his name? Mark Rudolph had to come from somewhere. So
That.
Maya got a brother. Anyway.
Yeah, this is a favorite for mine after the Edge of a Dream. I love it because it's kind of weird, so I like it because the weirdness of this song, I like it. So
It has some of that psychedelic vibe that you would get from Rotary Connection because of it starting to have some of those dark textures, and like it's not the sensuality particularly, but that kind of slow burn, almost blues rock. That's what gives me the Rotary Connection feel.
Yeah.
And it's just a hint of I guess what's to come, and a throwback to some things from the past. I'm like, okay, I can rock with that. It helps round out the album, and if it
Which
was
is what an
another
album
song,
should. Which is what an album should do. You
yeah,
reach, like Jay always say, bring something familiar. You have something new, and then you have something new that ain't even really on it that's coming. Just a
right.
So, what else is on this album? Did we forget anything?
no. We got two more songs.
Oh, what are they?
Loving you.
Oh, that one? I don't know her. The song that took up all the air in the room, but made Minnie a star, and we thank the song for that. Wait, so
Yeah.
they weren't going to include this song originally, right?
They wanted it, but they didn't want it as a single. And Richard and Minnie had to like really argue with them to release it as a single because when they were on tour, with she would open up for Johnny Cash. She was opening for him. And they did the record and they just saw how the audience kind of took to it. And it was like everybody was kind of swaying and doing all of that. So they was like, y'all, like this is a hit record. Like y'all need to, like people gonna love this record. And the label was just like, no, it doesn't sound. They thought it was too bland. They thought it was too bland. So I think Richard said he went and they put some other stuff to it. And
Is that the alternate band version?
I think so. He said that on the thing on the interview and added something a little to it, and then they put it out, and then he said, "You know what happens after that?" But he said it's crazy how executives and them just don't see it. But hey, if you got people out there feeling it that don't even know it, and they sway it to the side, we got something here. You know what I mean? Y'all not out on tour with us. Y'all not seeing what the people like. You know what I'm saying? So they had to really argue for this record. And I know when it went to number one, I know they probably was like, now see, You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
And what's interesting to me when I think about this song sonically, in another time, that would have crossed over to country radio.
And would have. They would have
Before it
been,
was
that would
more
have been like a
exclusive.
Pointer Sisters.
Fairy Tale, Slow Hand.
Like, because when I think about of how she sings it, yeah, like that's such a no wonder the Johnny Cash audience loved it because it was music that they were used to. It was a
Yeah,
sound. It wasn't a sound that was the same, but they could relate to it. It felt
yeah, it
it
wasn't like
felt
Prince opening for the
something
Rolling
familiar.
Stones and getting bottles thrown at him. They
Right,
didn't respond to that.
Right. Right.
right.
And
So yeah,
I'm
I
like,
think
y'all let, and she's touring with this guy. Y'all let her tour with this guy. You know what I mean? So her audience is completely different. And it's like she's coming back to y'all and saying, yeah, they're loving this record. And this is the audience we want to get to anyway if we want to sell. So makes sense. Throw this out, y'all. Like, now y'all looking at me as a black artist. That's what they were
Right.
doing. Like you said in the beginning, it was looking at Minnie as a black artist. And she's like, that don't matter. Like, they are adapted to this record. So put it out. You know what I mean? So
I'm really glad that exists though, because think of how it's gone in pop culture, where like even if you don't know Minnie, you might not even know the song. You know, la 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 la, and then doo 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 doo, and then you can do a whole comedy bit. I'm thinking Nutty Professor, right?
it did for her to go right back
yeah.
in. It did for her to go to do that and then go back. No one else. So she went
Oh,
from to no one else. Like nobody talks about that vocal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that sounds so unique. Like her tone is so unique.
Yeah.
this is true.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if the vocals were punched in, or if she could actually sing it live that way. I should probably look at the live performances and see
I've
if,
seen
I
live
think she
performances
did. And
and
she
she sing
did.
it. She sound like the
Mm-hmm.
record.
or yeah, actually,
Damn
because she
near.
does. When she says, "Loving you is," and she says more than like five, whatever, 10 octaves up, and then comes back down to just a dream come true. I'm like, being able to skip octaves like that and not sound like you're doing it is like
Mm-hmm.
you're actually making a jump up there. It's just like she's down here, then she's up there, then she's back down here, like magic. That is, you have to have control in order to do that. You know, you have to know your breath, you have to know your instrument, and you also have to like work out a whole bunch and know exactly how you can pull these things off. Practice it a bunch of times when nobody's around to be doing that in front of somebody, so you know the stuff that she was doing on this album. She probably was capable of even more than that. This is just what she decided to put on record.
True.
Think about how Layla was doing that chord splitting thing for years, like just as
Ooh.
like a fun thing, but didn't know what to do with it. Maybe did it. She's. I think she said she did it on a John P. Key record once, but no one knew what it was. They probably thought it was just studio created. No one
Yeah.
realized
She said
that
they
is
kept
Uncle
calling it
Ro
the
doing
train.
that.
She said
Hmm?
they kept calling it the choo choo train, the train.
Right, right,
Do
right,
the
right.
train, do the train. Yeah. I saw that interview that you're speaking of. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
But like, if you didn't know, you would think like, oh yeah, anybody can do that. Oh, that's creative. That's the studio. That's AI. There was no AI back then. There was no auto tune back then. If you weren't doing it with your throat, it wasn't getting done. Oh, and so listen.
Message.
That was she said.
Um, there's what I forget what song it was. It might be "Seeing You This Way," maybe, where she's using her upper register with the whistle notes, and
Mm-hmm.
not everything is perfectly in tune. That's also something you get to hear where it's just like, yeah, if it was too perfect, I think maybe it's creative, but like, no, that's actually a human making these sounds, and I don't feel like she ever did that in an inexact way after this. Anytime you heard her, she was like spot on. So I don't know if they retook everything a million times, but it's just such an exceptional gift. That's why I'm like, I feel like I'm putting a whole bunch on it, but because people don't be like hearing me or getting it, I'm like, do I need to put more on it? Why are you not understanding that this woman was the one? She was doing it. My God. And then Loving
Like
You was
Alise said.
just, the one that hit.
Right. And like Alise said, that I think people just pay attention to her at that thing, but the way she dropped and she made it seem so damn simple, like, oh, I can do this too. Knowing damn well we can. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, and she does it with ease. Like, it's just like that woman was nothing to play with, man. Like, and that's why again, I am happy this is her signature song and it did it for her. But for her to just with ease just do it, and then the way she just glides up there and then stay with me, like what? How you go
And it's
from
like,
there to this?
and then it's like with a dress, like stay with me, like a swing to it. Stay with me, and we'll go. You know, that's gorgeous.
Gorgeous,
And
gorgeous.
playful. And
Yes, that is a good thing you said. It's playful.
and it very much also embodies the kind of feel that this album cover has. Like I would have made that connection before the other one that Alise put out there. But yes, it's a lullaby for their daughter, right? So
Baby.
Mhm.
My,
uh, now imagine if you
my.
don't like Minnie Riperton, this is probably cloying, but I'm like, smile, please, please.
Yeah.
Right,
Get your
right.
life.
And then to know that, like, when they did the demo, right, that when Stevie was hearing it, they was like, yo, we hear birds in it. And they realized that when they did the demo in their house, they left the window open and there was birds outside. So Stevie said, go get a bird. He was like, go get a bird. Like, I want the feeling to be like the demo. Like, I want that. And they went, got a bird, and that's what you're hearing on the record.
Actually, credit to the bird.
And then and they said, God. I said, what? I said, that bow to y'all, man. When I saw that and it said bird, God, I said, Stevlin, I don't know what more to say about you.
Again,
like,
the reason why we need liner notes. That's part of the education.
That part. But yeah, and then they played this. But this is her signature song that I'm never sick of. Never. I can really hear this song, and after a while, I'll be like, I don't ever gotta hear this song again. This song, anytime it come on, I can hear it, and it
doesn't
doesn't
really
matter.
overstay its welcome. Yeah,
I never get sick of it.
So good, so pretty. She sounds just so pretty on it too. So, and we've come to the close of our lives.
So this sounds like a closer. It just
don't it?
Yeah, it sounds very final, very very resolved, and then almost a little dramatic. Very Stevie, and a little Sarita. There's just that flavor that's in there.
I said a lot of Sarita.
Yeah, and although I
To
don't
me,
think she collaborated on this, it sounds.
No. I'm just saying the feel.
Yeah.
The feel, not her.
Yeah, like I don't know where I get that from because like Sarita often sound like Stevie and Stevie often sound like Sarita, but like this reminds me of a Sarita record.
That's what I'm saying. It's
I don't know. I don't get it. It just do.
I was just agreeing with you, sir.
I'm not disagreeing with you agreeing with me. I think you're right and you should do it more often.
My mama told me.
What'd your mama tell you?
None of your business.
Oh Lord.
Attitude's so ugly. Why you gotta be like that?
If I was good,
with a stank face.
They see in our lives, y'all. This is it. This is it.
I don't talking about. I'm a perfect angel. I think that I'm the perfect one.
That's a little trip right there.
Wow.
It do be your own people, don't it?
And do. That's to
She
the
got me in the
heart.
episode. I had to get her back. I had to find a way to get her back. She got. They said
That's to
we
the
playing music.
heart.
We ain't playing nothing.
You're to blame. Oh,
Jesus.
you love a bad day. Woo.
Oh God.
Anywho.
Loving you.
So look, since I've been consulting this back of the record all like the whole show or whatever, I don't know if you can actually see this.
Mhm.
I want to show you
Yeah.
this other thing that I did. Yeah. There's this artist that I really, really like.
Love
And
her.
something about them seems very, very kindred, right? Like there's something about the vibe that just it fit for me. And so she actually asked me to design her vinyl, and I've never designed vinyl before, and I'm so excited about it. Clearly, you can tell. So, I was like, well, how can I kind of bring some Minnie into this? And so, one of the things I did was make sure the design actually like matched, so you can see Psy looks like Minnie.
Wow.
Like, and you need to get a copy of these because there's only like half of them left, and I think I bought like 10,000 of them myself. But the back of it, I wanted to make it look like Perfect Angel specifically. So if you look at the liner notes, they match on purpose
That's
because
dope.
Psy is so many, and like this album is so very many specifically. Like the soul
Yeah.
references are like very 70s, very like Philadelphia International, very. Well, I didn't get Stevie from this, but like the way Zoe and Tall Black Guy put these tracks together, um, it's so musically rich and informed by stuff from the 70s
Mm-hmm.
that like I wanted it to kind of look and feel like Perfect Angel. And so yeah, even in that reading the liner notes, um, please read them and listen to the music and defy that to see like, okay, is there something many you get from this other than just like the fact that Psy can also hit those notes. And she has covered many on multiple occasions really, really well. And you also have to know your stuff before you try to cover a Minnie Riperton song, like trying to cover Shaka Khan or trying to cover Aretha Franklin. Don't embarrass yourself, right? So like you must have the
Many people
goods,
have.
or we will clown and we Sandman will come out and will sweep you off the stage, right? But
Amen.
but Psy is that woman, my God. So like yeah, just as a music nerd, I love being able to do this because they vibe to me similarly, and it's not just Psy. Like I got these because when I listen to like Take a Little Trip, it reminds me of Trippin' from Adriana Evans.
Oh my God, yes. Oh,
Well,
I didn't think
did
about that.
Absolutely. So like
we talk about that album? Did we say something about the
I don't
mini?
know,
I
you may
think
maybe
we
didn't,
did.
but
I
like it's
think
I
just
think
so.
Dart brought it up.
I think so. Yeah.
maybe it might have, but like I heard, I'm like, oh, this reminds
I
me of
don't
Adriana
remember.
Evans. Yeah,
That been about I don't never remember the shows. But yeah,
and
I have to
then
go
like
back.
one that always reminds me of Minnie Riperton is Amel Larue.
That one right there. Yes,
And
sir.
That thing there, yes.
like if
Oh
you think
yeah.
about it, the way Richard Rudolph and Minnie Riperton wrote everything together, Amel and her husband LaRue wrote everything together, and Amel has this way of like communicating like uh, joy and innocence like really really easily, and it's something in the tone of her voice, in the way she uses it, and the kinds of melodies that she shapes. It's not just this album; like all of her albums, they're just very reminiscent of Minnie without like actually biting. And I know like in For Real, she was able to like reach those top notes, but that was just like her playing around. I don't even think she like usually sings like that. But
Mm-hmm.
like if you get that vibe from Minnie Riperton, she has kids everywhere. Like people that like listen to this music and are able to embody it when they catch their vibe, they're catching the vibe that they felt before. And it's not just me. So it's like, go listen to all these things. Like all these people, they are really really good. The Psy. Please listen to the Psy album because I done told y'all a million times this joint is dope.
Album is everything.
And it goes back to like Minnie, and so like this is why I want everybody to like learn the history, like listen to your mama's records, your grandma's records, and everything, and then go see like, oh yeah, it does connect to now, and it just makes now more rich than it could have been if you know about it. Anyway, that's my soapbox. And this
You
is why I want
definitely
to talk about this album because Minnie.
yeah. And you definitely want to see your mama's records because my mama told me. Okay.
Nah, this. I don't know why you're singing that part. You won't be good. What are you doing?
But there's an if. There's yeah,
Yeah.
think of it.
So you're still thinking about it. You might could. I'm just saying. Hey, Si.
You dropped the mic on that one, Mark. For real.
I just love me some her.
Yes.
Those are definitely her children. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And
Not
I
her nieces
learned
and
things here.
nephews,
Like,
not their cousins.
y'all are
Children.
like Sesame Street, but blacker.
I don't even know what that means, but fine.
You gonna be out here teaching the truths? Teaching the babies?
I'm kicking the truth to the young black youth.
Oh God.
Oh. And that's all I have to say about that. But thank you for putting up with me. I missed y'all. Told me
If I was good.
and I would find me. So sassy.
That's a cut. Angel. Yeah.
That is.
But yes, we really appreciate y'all rocking with us today. I appreciate Mark. And Mark, how about you tell me how people can find you and check out where you want them to find you to check out the things that you do so they can see how wonderful and there's got to be the truth if I'm saying something nice to Mark,
Is this on
how
the record?
wonderful a writer you are.
Oh, yes, Lord.
J.R.
The pen is penning.
Did you hear what I heard?
A compliment from Alise.
So it got
I'm going to play the lotto right after this episode.
Yeah.
Let me get 5 on that.
I got
you. Let me get a credit of that because I was part of your luck.
I love me some y'all, no matter what
Likewise.
I say.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm always writing for albumism, and I feel like I need to do something else with my life, but just like be here, like researching music and writing about it. But it's so much fun. So I'll be on Twitter usually talking about music. Twitter.com/Mark Chappelle. That's MarkChappelle. Or you could go to linktree.com/Mark Chappelle or linktr.ee/Mark Chappelle. Like either one of them works. And find like all the articles I've done. Or you can go to muckrake.com/Mark Chappelle and you'll find like every article that I've ever done in my entire life almost. So much stuff is out there. Like I appreciate that people actually read some of these things. Somebody had the nerve to be knowing me one time. I was just like, how you knowing me? That's awesome because I really just be trying to talk about stuff that I like, and so for someone else to be paying attention, it makes me feel like okay, it's worth it. You know, me putting up with Alise's attitude and like getting shots fired at me on the internet is worth it. You know, pew, 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 pew. You know, but and then Instagram.com/Mark is a nice person. We'll talk about the name later, but yes, you can find me there. I don't really be doing anything, but you know, I'm on there. So
he thinks that he's a perfect angel. Yeah.
I'm working. I'm a work in progress. Okay, leave me alone. I'm trying.
But my mama told me.
Oh Lord.
Ask her to say it louder since you ain't listening.
I refuse. What'd you say, huh? But as much as you get on my nerves and I hate you, actually loving you is easy because you are beautiful.
Oh
yes, yes,
and
Lord.
I mean that. I mean that
You're
for
gonna
real.
make me cry. All my emotions and whatnot. It's so nice to see y'all, my old friends.
Yeah. You know, and then I'd be singing, and I'd be like, ah. I love it.
That's your part.
Yes. But yeah, we love you, Mark, and we love all our viewers. We really appreciate y'all hanging out with us, especially in a live chat. It's always a good time, good conversation, and silliness. And we love it. So bring us some more cousins. Tell a friend, tell an enemy. You know, like I would tell Mark about something cool I saw. So tell an enemy. I would. Tell a friend. I tell JR about the things that I see that are cool. So tell a friend.
Hey, wait a minute though. Here's a plug y'all could do. Where can you actually get an I Read the Liner Note shirt? Because I finally got one. I love mine, and I don't know the name of Zonim's store. It's
Oh, so 345.
the
Zo 35.
that is not the is Zo something Zo three
It's
five.
ZO, the number 3, HREEFIVE.com. Don't play with
Yeah,
me.
you said Zo 345. I'm like that's
I
said a
said
little
it
bit
and
or
I
something.
pulled it back and I said 35. Do you want me to
Oh
roll
yeah,
the
it
beautiful
is.
bean
Okay,
footage?
Zo
So
the
just
number 3 HREE 5
yeah.
IVE.com. Okay, the
But
store. I hope it's still for sale because I'll be mad if they all sold out. You'd be mad anyway. But
no, that's his, and he got I Read the Lighter Notes trademark actually, like last year.
oh, nice.
Mhm.
So the shirt, so your shirt is different than mine because it has
Oh yeah.
the copyright symbol. Yeah, that's a
I'm
yeah,
official.
trademark.
What you doing?
Oh, but I got the OG though. But yeah, I gotta get a new one. But
She'll never let me win.
you can't win. Okay. But yeah, definitely check us out.
Get
Spread the
out
word. Come to our
again.
dysfunctional family. We dysfunctional, but we love each other and we'll fight somebody in the face over each
Absolutely.
other.
I
That
rocks
part.
with these ones right here.
Yes.
So thank you. And we will catch all you perfect angels on the next Catch That. Peace. Take a
Peace.
little trip.